now that we all have access to assets, I wanted to go over my process of building my library. So, one of the first things that I did was go through like one of my worlds. I didn't do this for all of them yet, but um, I started with my spring world, my spring jam world, and I started going through it and selecting things that were that I would want as assets that I might reuse in the future. So, I grabbed an island with a turtle, and then I grabbed the fish and some of the little palm trees and the crab and the sun dial. But then I realized like I was grabbing things from the world and then like moving things around, and I'm like, that's not the way to do it. So instead of doing it that way, I decided that I would just go through, select my stuff, do a basic description, and then come back and do the photos later. So this way, you're keeping it consistent. I used to do product photography for a fashion company called Dots. And so I'd have to, shoot all the pants from a certain angle, shoot all the shirts front and back. And so, I have markings on the ground here that you can see from where you're going to stand. And that way you always place your object inside of the box the same way and try and be consistent with your sizes. And let's just go ahead and grab this plant. As it drags it out, you can hold it and then resize it. And you can kind of see where the bottom of this is. So this is kind of like, let's just make it a little smaller. And that's kind of where I'll leave that at. And let's just go ahead and go into preview mode now. Or, yeah. Grab the camera. And this is how you can keep your photos consistent by making sure you're stepping on your little block. Keep it at the angle that makes the most sense to you. Now, I noticed when you add the assets to the library, there's like a box along the bottom, and I don't want that to interfere with my product. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that I leave space at the bottom. Take the photograph, close, and then once I go back into, oh, wrong one. Once I go back into here and grab this, we can go back all the way down. Oh, there we go. And get to plant. Go to plant. Hit edit. Go down and change the thumbnail. Oh, wait. Oops, wrong thing. Select the new thumbnail. Oh, it didn't populate yet. Okay. Gotta give it a second. Let's just go ahead and take another one just in case. Stand on your little block, leave your space, and maybe I'll do a couple different angles. So if you noticed, I had a couple markings on the ground. That way, if you wanted to do multiple angles and then choose which one looks best to you, you're able to do that. Okay, let's go back and see if that is enough. There we go. Okay, you saw it. Just do that thing. All right, so let's go ahead and choose my first one because I think that one's going to be fine. Update. I wish you didn't have to scroll every single time you made an edit, but it is what it is. And there you go. You've got your title at the bottom, your little info. It doesn't interfere with your photo, and that way you keep it consistent throughout all of your photos. To set it up, I literally just took like four cubes and attached them, did it unlit, and then made my little markings on the ground and brought in some lights. You don't have to bring in lights, but this is typically like where I would have 2 umbrella lights, like diffusing, with diffusers on them so that it wasn't like super bright. And I think that's it. All right. Happy creating.